In this quick video guide, we're gonna see what we can use in Blender to measure parts of our objects. So how we can apply measurements, how we can do some measuring. And we can do it in edit mode, we can do it in object mode, and we have many possibilities. So I'm gonna start by creating a new file so we are all on the same page, and we have here the standard cube, which we know is 2 meters times 2 meters. And you can see the first measurements up here. So if you expand the sidebar, and let me also open up the screencast keys so you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller real quick. All right, so we can see here that we have already some measurements. So you can change the measure of an object, you can select it, you can see here the measures, the dimensions. Press N key to open and close the sidebar. Now the other tool we can use is right here on the left side toolbar, and it's called Measure. And we have some indications there. You can see if I roll over here, you can see some indications. So basically you can click and drag here a measure, but to make it better, we can hold the control key. If I hold the control key and click and drag, it's going to snap to vertices. So now I know this is 1 meter 0.8, 80 centimeters. This is 2.4. Hold control, click and drag, and be careful because if you are on measure that has been already placed, it's going to take that and it's going to bring it somewhere else. So you can always add it when the cursor turns into kind of a crosshair in there. Okay, and I can continue to measure all the parts of my design. Now another thing I can do is delete the measure. So if you click there, well, this is also creating like an elbow, a corner, so you can measure also corners. And so let me just put that right there, hold control, put that right there, hold control, put that right there. So you can see the angle right there. And if I want to delete, let's say I want to delete these measurements right here, I can press the X or the delete key, but be careful because this is going to work on the one that you are selecting. So to select it without actually creating a point, you may want to click on an edge like this, and then you press X, and that's going to be removed. So once we do that, we can just start all over if we want. Okay, so what happens if I go here and change the measure? So this is 1.8. Now you can see the measure is gonna stay there. So I need to fix it. I need to take the edges and then place it again. When I go and select another tool, it's gonna automatically remove it. So it's not gonna stay there. It's solely gonna be available when you click there. Now this is handy when you start to have more complex objects. So for example, if you want to create like a wall using edit mode, so perhaps I will start to like selecting the faces. And if you also have issues in doing these really simple things, you can check the Blender video courses or other video guides that we have in the channel. So what I'm doing here is selecting these faces and trying to create kind of a wall and, well, something a little bit more complex. Okay, so let me extrude also down here a little bit like this, and then extrude with the extrude tool. I'm going to extrude this. So this is not a cube anymore. It's a way more complex object. So if I go back to object mode, well, that measurements is not good anymore. So I'm going to take it and control, and I'm going to snap it. There you go. So this is 6 meter, but what if I want to measure like this internal here, which is 6.4? Now, if I go here, this will never tell you that specific measure right there. It's going to tell you the overall size, which is 6.9, and is referring to this other side. You can see here 6.9. So when you have like more complex objects, you may need to measure them using this quick tool here in the interface. Now we have other options. Another one that is really important, it's in edit mode again. So if I go back to edit mode, and I already created something, pretty complex, not too much, but fair enough. So when you are in edit mode, here in the overlays, let me close the sidebar with the N key so we have more space. So here you have overlays. Now these are the standard overlays that you usually have normally in object mode, but also you have an extra one which is for edit mode, and it's already turned on because it's going to show you the face that you are selecting, and if you want also the center of the faces and other stuff. But here you can also do a mesh analysis, and we can also do here, we can measure every edge length and every edge angle and every face angle and every face area. So we have a lot of information here that we can use. So right now I'm selecting this face and it's showing me the information about that face. If I select this other face, it's showing me the square meters of this, is showing me the various length, etc., etc. So let me go back here. And also you can check the normals, how the normals are oriented, and the vertex normals here, and the face normals. Also, you can increase the size of this if you want to see better. So you are completely analyzing everything here, measuring essentially everything. But you can always go back in object mode, and again, you can use this one here. So let me make here another measure. Now, as you can see here, this is 6.6. But if I go back to edit mode, well, this is measuring 8.27, so it's kind of different. Now, when things like this happen in Blender, I usually go to object mode, and I select the object, and I do object and apply all transforms or apply scale. Okay, you can see the measure here hasn't changed, but let's go back in edit mode, and you can see now it's changed. Because when you transform something, when you extrude it, when you scale it, resize it, it's going to make something that is going to make the software lose the track of that, the actual size. So when we do object apply, it's going to fix those new transformations in a way. So this is the other tool, and I think this is great because it only appears when I'm selecting something. So whether I'm working on a single edge, or I'm working on an entire face, or I'm working on a point, it's going to show me the information only of that things that I'm selecting if I want to know more. And let's do last application here of measurements. So another tool that I already explained in previous video in Blender 3, not in Blender 4, but it's going to work the same, is going to be in the preferences. It's going to be in the GAN extensions, and let's look for, you need to be linked, you need to be online, you need to allow the online access here to access the extensions from here, and search for MeasureIT. You can see it's not installed, so I'm just going to click install, and now it's going to be ready to be used. So I'm going to close this, and it's going to be found here in the again in the sidebar. And I want to fix something here in the screen cascades. I want to decrease the event history here. I don't really want to see event history. Okay, and let me go to edit. Sorry, in this case we need to go to view, and we need to be in edit mode. So let me change from object mode to edit mode, and under the annotations here you have MeasureIT tools. So first of all, you need to make a show, so show, and then you need to select a segment, for example like this, and apply a measurement. So click here, segment, and it's going to be there. And down here you can fix it. So you can like um, let me expand. So you can change the offset. You can apply another color which is more visible. You can well, do a lot of other settings here that you don't have in the other previous tools. So it's kind of more complex, and you can customizable way you can take measures of everything here. And you can also delete if you don't want the you can hide, you can show, and you can also delete if you don't want the measurement anymore. And you can start all over with a new segment and new settings. So this is like the most complex to use to set up, but also the most complete. So this will be all for this video guide. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated for more. If you want to thank us, support us, please join the channel as a supporter. This will help us to create more videos and continue with our work. So thanks, and see you in the next video guide.